Greetings, everyone. It's with our heart full of joy that we're going to start another Enlightening Moments by Plenitude. As we did before, we're going to go to a brief explanation how it works. We first read a message from the book Our Daily Bread, which was dictated by the Spirit Emmanuel and read by Chico Xavier. After that, we do a brief study of the Gospel according to Spiritism. And then we go to the most important part of our exercise, which is prayer, a vibration, so we can send everything that's good on us. And hope that might bring some consolation to everyone that might need it, either for spiritual suffering or physical pains, and we hope that help. So without further ado, let's go and start our study. So starting chapter 8, and the title is Anxieties. The verse we're going to comment today from this chapter is, "Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." Peter said that on chapter 5, verse 7. Anxieties trigger many crimes on earth and are never constructive. Invariably, the anxious man has all the odds against him. I think that Emmanuel here was referring to the flight or fight response that we know medically on recent. Today we know that is very damaging for our health and for the decisions we make. So continuing to the reading. In opposition to these anxious, disquieting moments, the lessons about the patience of nature appear in every section of human pathway. If man had been born to be constantly anxious, it would be as if to say that he had come to this earth not in a category of sanctifying laborer, but rather as a desperate, unpardonable soul. So basically what I take here is when we manifest anxiety, is almost unnatural. Anxiety is almost unnatural for us. Because if we go with nature has to teach us, we don't experiment anxieties. Let's proceed. And by the way, any moment that you guys have a question or want to make a comment, we'll be more than welcome to answer the questions in the best way we know. So just please write them down in our comments list. And if you're liking this program, please like us or love us, or in any way tell it how you feel about us. Proceeding to the readings. So if a human being could reflect more sensibly, they would be able to recognize the actual context of service that the moments of each day can offer. They would try to be more vigilant. They give proper value to their own assets. Undoubtedly, the scenario changes constantly, obliging us to encounter unpleasant surprises as a result of our inadequate attitudes while experiencing happiness or pain. However, an essential imposition of the law obliges us to proceed daily in the direction of goodness. This paragraph is very strong because it shows us that there's always something different in our day. Every time we start the day, we don't know what's ahead, even if we plan it carefully 3 weeks ago. Everything changes every day. And we plan in order to be prepared for whatever comes. If we plan to follow very rigidly everything that we've written in the task list or to-do list, whatever the way we use, we're going to suffer because there'll be surprises. There is a study, I think Darwin said that when the species that survives is the one that can adapt faster and easier. Therefore, they're prepared. So, proceeding. Anxiety will try to coerce gentle hearts because the terrestrial pathways unfold many darker corners and almost unsolvable problems. Nevertheless, let us not forget the prescription that Peter has given to us. So place your concerns and disquieting fears in the hopes you have in the Celestial Father, because divine love desires the well-being of all of us. It is just to ardently desire the victor of light, to persevere in search of peace, to discipline ourselves, for our union with the superior planes, to insist and synchronize the more evolved spheres, to insist in synchronizing with the more evolved spheres. However, bear in mind that anxiety always precedes a fall. So, if we always stop and think, okay, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling? It's a moment to pause and try to understand what it is. Sometimes we find the solution right on that one. If we don't, you say, well, I don't have all the data right now. I'm going to give this problem to whoever can help me have more data, and in this way I stop for a moment of thinking of it and maybe the solution comes. Let's ponder about that. All right, proceeding. A brief study of the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 8. Title is about blessed are the pure in heart. People were bringing little children to Jesus to have him touch them, but the disciples rebuked them. When Jesus saw this, he was indignant. He said to them, "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. I tell you the truth, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a child will never enter it." And he took the children in his arms, put his hands on them, and blessed them. So this passage of Jesus, which is in Mark 10, is very meaningful. It can be misinterpreted of think that only the children, as we know them in the physical world, are worthy of the kingdom of God. Whereas after you grow, you become an adult, what happens? Let's see. So, he says, Jesus said, let the children come to me and do not hinder them, from the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Jesus didn't say belongs to those. All right, so let's see what the commentary is about this passage. Purity of heart can't be separated from simplicity and humility, and excludes all ideas of selfishness and pride. This is why Jesus used infancy as the symbol of both purity and simplicity. We can add to that meekness, which is strength under control. Think about it. And let me know what you think. Let us know what you think. Seen from a spiritual perspective, this comparison might seem completely unfair. After all, the spirit of a child might be very old and, on returning to the physical realm, might bring with it imperfections it hasn't been able to resolve during its past life. Because sometimes we see children in a very young age presenting behaviors or impulses that are not very pure of hearted. So from the point of view of our present life, however, the comparison is exact because a child who hasn't yet had opportunity to reveal any improper tendencies present us with an image of innocence. Jesus makes it clear in any event that the kingdom of heaven isn't meant for children per se, but for those who resemble the image we have of the child. So Jesus always used the examples of things that we are familiar with. And at the time he talked, then over 2,000 years ago, and still today, we are not fully able to understand those messages. But what he wants to say about this passage is, when your heart's pure, when you're humble, when you see life like if you were a child, with awe, with amazing of everything new, that makes it everything more peaceful for you. And when you have a peace in your heart, that's the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is not a place, it's a state that you have in your heart. Think about that. And after that, we're going to go to our next step, which is our vibration. So, dear friends, let us pause for a moment. Let us feel there is a light in the color that calms you. That light is surrounding us and flushing through every cell in our bodies. It's a cleansing light that clears the anxieties, that clears the things that bother us, and take them away and dissolve them in the air, so they're not there anymore. And it's with this feeling of complete peace and joy that we're gonna go in search of happiness. Happiness is not something we have for ourselves. Happiness is when we send our joy and that joy touches someone, then we receive happiness. So we're going to imagine that all this beauty that is surrounding us right now, from our hearts, we send it out to whoever might be in need. And as we send this out, we connect. And all this good vibration energy, good vibrating energy flows and expands. And it starts surrounding our space, our homes, our neighborhood, our cities, our countries, and surround the planet. The planet is involved by this beauty, this energy, this enlightened vibration. And then the vibration goes to the ones that are in hospitals, touch them. Goes to the ones that have no home right now, that are in search of one. Goes to the ones that feel in desperation, that feel in pain of the body, suffering of the spirit. Gives them moments of strength, gives them strength and consolation so they can keep on their journey in search of joy, in search of happiness. And then we feel the gratitude of being able to serve, of being able to help. We don't know who we're helping. We don't know what we did, if it was the personal, familiar, global reach. We know that happened. And we're grateful for that. And we hope to get together next week and send to everyone all the good. So be it.